It almost feels that there's two voices, like there's the angel here and there's the evil here. But you are making the choice to listen more this voice than this. Okay guys, Bernardo Faria here. Guys, today I have a question here from a user. He didn't identify himself, so it's totally anonymous. How to overcome fear of embarrassment when rolling higher belts and hesitation when performing techniques. I think this is a great question, and I think if you are asking, a lot of people might feel like you as well. And I always tell that to my students as well. First thing first, don't try to battle against what you're feeling. Like just try to accept it. Just try to accept it that everybody might feel a bit of embarrassment when they're training with someone better than them. But now it's our job to control that level of embarrassment. So for example. So when I moved to Alliance in 2009 to train at Alliance Sao Paulo, which is the Alliance HQ, and they had like all the world champions over there. And I do remember that my very first day training there, I felt so much adrenaline that looks like I was competing on a tournament. And I think it was because of this feeling, I was feeling like afraid of being embarrassed with my level, and even though it was a very high level back then as well, like I won the world's purple belt open class as a purple belt and got second as a brown belt. So I knew I was a pretty high level in jiu-jitsu. I was already black belt and that. But even though I had that feeling, I was concerned, I was scared. I never trained on a school that was that level. Like I came from my hometown, which was a small town, a small school and that. And all of a sudden I was in the best jiu-jitsu school in the world. There were like many world champions on the mat, world champions as a black belt. And I do remember that my very first day, I did feel like, I don't know if I can use the word embarrassed, but I was very afraid. I was feeling like adrenaline, as if I was in a tournament. So I think this is totally normal. From what I understood, it seems like you are doubting yourself a little bit, especially when you go against a higher belt, which is totally normal, which is exactly what I was feeling when I joined Alliance and my first day or first week. I was doubting myself. I was doubting if I was good enough to be there. I was doubting if my level was okay to go back and forth with all those champions. So I think it's a totally like normal feeling. So first thing you would say is like, just try to accept it. This is normal. Because I think like as much as we go against it, more we feel. So if I was on your shoes, I would just try to accept it. This is okay. This is normal. This happens to everybody. And now I would try to start thinking on good things as well. At least I was like that. It almost feels that there's two voices, like there's the angel here and there's the evil here, And the angel is saying like, hey, you're good, you're ready, you're gonna win this, you can do it. It doesn't matter against who you were going, you can do it, you can beat this guy and that. And the evil over here is saying like, no, you're not ready, you didn't train enough. Like this guy is much better than you. Be careful with this submission. Be careful how he passed the guard. Be careful with this. Be careful with that. And it's kind of like our job to choose who we want to listen, And we will end up listening both. But, when I think a good analogy here would be like, when you're talking with a person that that's very smart, and you're also talking with a person that that's not smart, loves talking, is the guy who doesn't even let you speak. He's always speaking. And you kind of try to listen more to get this guy over here than that guy over there. I think it's very similar over here. Like you're probably going against the higher belts and you have the two voices over here in your ear. But you are making the choice to listen more this voice than this. But I bet with you that you also have the good voice here. You also have the voice say like, you can do it. You're ready. Like, even though he's a higher belt, man, you can hang with this guy. You can train for him. Even if he taps, it's no big deal, But you're probably listening more this voice than this one. And then you're afraid of feeling embarrassed. You're doubting yourself. You're hesitating to perform your techniques. This is happening, Many times this feeling of embarrassment and this hesitation to perform with techniques also comes with too much respect because you're going against a higher belt and you're scared of what you can do, scared of what you cannot do. And what I'm going to say here is that once you shake hands, as long as you don't do anything to hurt the person or you don't have anything malicious, feel free to do whatever you can, you know, like that's jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is an art, you know, like feel like an artist, you know, like you can paint your role, you know, like you can try whatever you want, you know, like, and as long as you don't have any you're not using elbows, not like doing anything like that's kind of like ugly and shady, feel free to paint your art over there when you're training, you know, like try to perform your best moves, you know, like, well, what's the best move that you have? Try to use that one right away. Maybe try to surprise him with something, you know, like maybe he's expecting that you're gonna pull guard and you try to take him down, something like that. But try out, you know, like go out there, be polite, shake his hands, be nice to him and that, but also you're training, feel free to do your things. It doesn't matter that much if it's higher belt, you know, like you should be training for him the same way that you train with a person that's your belt or lower belt. You know, like you should be going after and trying your jiu-jitsu. But anyways, just to summarize here, I think the bottom line is try to accept your feelings versus going against your feelings. And try to also like understand that this is a normal thing. Everybody goes through that. And it should be your job to listen more the good voice than the bad voice. You know, like you will have both voices. Everybody has it. But I think the difference is that some people listen like 90% to this good voice and 10% of this bad voice. And some people do the opposite. You know, like they listen a lot more this one than this one. And the last thing, summarizing here, is just like, you're going against a higher belt. All he has is a different color on his belt that's higher than yours, but feel free to do your jiu-jitsu against him. Imagine that jiu-jitsu is art and you're painting, and you should paint the way you want to roll, you know, like sometimes your painting is not gonna work and the guy's gonna smash you, but the worst that can happen is that you tap and you restart again, you know, like, so I think that's the bottom line there. Guys, if you are in the Masters Division, meaning like over 30 years old, and you are watching this video, the best-selling series that I have, my best-selling videos at IBJJFanatics.com, it's called Jiu-Jitsu for Old Guys. And I have Jiu-Jitsu for Old Guys for all type of subjects, you know, like guard retention, over-under passes, submissions, escapes. So make sure to check that out at IBJJFanatics.com. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTube Faria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.